I'm Beverly Kirk with the Global Health Policy Center. I'm here with Lina Sergie Attar. She is the co-founder of the Karam Foundation, which is doing work in Syria, and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
First and foremost, can you briefly explain what the Karam Foundation does and talk about the work that you're doing in Syria?
Well, Karam Foundation was co-founded in 2007 in Chicago by myself and my friend, and we started working and focusing on Syria in 2011 after there was a humanitarian need to work there. And right now our work is in 3 tracks. The first is in education, and that's mainly through our Zaytuna program, which is a program Karam started, and it was co-founded by myself and Syrian artist Kinda Habrawi, and we came together to put a mentorship program for displaced Syrian children. And we did this program twice last year, once in an IDP camp in Syria on the Turkish border, and once just last month in December in the Saram School for Refugee Children, which serves 1,200 Syrian children. And we take with us international mentors, a full dental mission, soccer coaches, artists, writers, professors, and they all work with the children one-on-one to try to create an environment of hope and inspiration for these kids who've lost everything due to the violence that they've experienced in Syria. We also support the schools that we work with, and we support schools inside Syria as much as we can. Our second track is working in humanitarian aid, and we have a very successful Milk for Syria program, which we purchase infant formula for infants inside Syria, and we do that on a monthly basis. And we also provide winterization packages, seasonal aid. So our winterization packages this year, we were able to send in thousands of coats and hats and mittens for Syrian children that live inside Syria. And our campaign actually won an award last year for Giving Tuesday, a nationwide award. And the third thing that we are focusing on and we're developing right now, because the crisis has gone on for so long, is building on sustainable businesses. And we have a nonprofit bakery that's functioning inside Syria right now, and we'll be doing more projects in the future.
How do you manage to operate given the violence in Syria? You've just ticked off 3 really incredible things that you're doing. How do you operate, and how difficult is it to operate inside Syria?
It's very difficult to do the work that we do because it is a war zone, and the situation on the ground is constantly changing, and borders close, humanitarian aid routes change, and our biggest difficulty is to get enough aid inside to the people who need it most due to the violence and due to the restraints and the lack of security and no humanitarian aid corridors open for people who do work like us, and also much larger organizations that need to go in and help the people. But in the over the last 2.5 years, as we've been doing this work, we've realized that we focused our efforts on very specific projects, and we also coordinate and collaborate with other organizations that also are focused, such as the Syrian Medical Association, which does their medical work, and we have other organizations. So that's how we can do our work in the best way possible.
What are your hopes for the future? Are you optimistic at all?
You know, we work with a lot of kids, and you can't not be optimistic when you work with kids. And the children that we've met over the last year are just so inspiring and so strong and resilient, and they have hopes and dreams. When I was there last month, I met so many girls whose favorite subject is math and science, and they want to be scientists and they want to become doctors, and boys who want to become engineers. And when you see these kids with their dreams, you can't not have hope. But I have short-term hopes for Syria, which is obviously that the bloodshed and the violence end, and we can begin to take these refugees that are now in the millions back to their homes and put the kids back in schools and create a stable environment for them. And my long-term hopes for Syria is that we'll have a peaceful country that provides a freedom and dignity for all Syrians.
Lina, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.